Well. I'm back again with another video. Let's see if I don't get any odd pop-ups in this one. But yes, it's Black Ops 7. It's kill confirmed. It's on Blackheart again. But trust me, the next commentary I'll do will not be on Blackheart. But this is very early on in the piece. I'm using the Razor. It's kill confirmed. And I do all right. You can tell it's very early in the Black Ops 7 release because I do all right, but my movement's not 100%, but I get a good couple kills here earlier on. I get to be sweaty at the beginning, people, because this is how I play. Look how I'm a bit slow here and there, but I get a couple kills, and thanks for coming, pal. Now, thank you for the last video. This is on a Tuesday night. I've come back from the gym, and I've had a couple of games of Black Ops 7, and I've pulled out this old recording. And I'm really impressed with how many views I got in the last video. Last time I checked, it had 73 views. And, you know, look, I was a bit surprised. If I was going to get more hate, probably will by the time you see this video. But this is a completely different video. It's got a completely different tangent. And it is one I feel, look, I don't normally get political on this channel, but I will speak my mind when I think the government's doing something a bit wrong here in Australia. Now, there's something coming up probably on the 10th of December next week. And if you're unaware of what I'm talking about, but here in Australia, we're going to be the first in the world to do a social media ban for people on the age of 16 and under. And a lot of people here in Australia, and I speak to a lot of my mates, they don't think it'll affect them that much. But on the 10th of December next week, if you are 16 or younger, you're going to have proof that you are 16 and younger. If not, you'll be banned on social media. And originally it was just going to be TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram. Facebook as well, right? Facebook as well, I believe. But then they changed it to YouTube, and that's when I started to get a little bit, started to notice a bit more about this. And YouTube was meant to be, Google understood that they were going to be exempt, but they're not, because they brought that one in. And I'll tell you why I think they did bring that in, people, because they're doing all this to say to protect the kids. Okay, to say protect the kids from themselves and particularly what's on social media. And I'm going to be honest with you, people. Oh, look at this one here. So, boom. Just like that, the government's creeping up on us and they're going to kick us in the wazoo. Okay, so their belief is that social media is harmful to kids and so forth, and we need to protect the kids, as my fingers are up in the air. What's going to happen here is you're going to have to prove now, right? They've said this, you have to prove that you are not 16. So you're going to have to do various age verifications on your social media platforms. That's me. That's you. That's a lot of people in Australia to do this, right? I'm 51 going 52. I'm going to have to prove to the Australian government and the social media platforms that I'm not 16. Now, in saying that, they're going to ask for facial recognition, and guess who's going to keep all the information? Our government. Now, this is the thing, right? It's not about protecting the kids. It's about protecting themselves. It's about controlling what we're saying and controlling what's put out there and what is done. There is some damn good political stuff on YouTube here in Australia. A lot of politicians from state, from Victoria and other parts of Australia that have been very outspoken against the government and how they handled COVID, particularly in Victoria here and other places. And I guarantee you, it's just about control and banning you and what you say. It is that's all it's about. It's not about protecting the kids. Because it's about protecting the kids. Don't do it the other way. Kids aren't allowed to have mobile phones, or they're only allowed to get this type of mobile phone, which, by the way, they already have mobile phones which have a very good piece of technology which can cut out, stalkers, bad inappropriate photos, swearing, stuff like that. They're Nokias. They're not the latest fandangle phone. But that's the best way of doing it. But no, we're all going to have to prove this, right? Now, they've tried it in England. They tried it with Apple and so other things, and it backfired with the English government. They wanted a backdoor into people's private data, and that's well against what Apple's policies are. And that backfired against them there because Apple put out they faulted in a way, but they knew that this was going to happen, and they put out a press release basically saying, look, your data's going down here, this update's going to happen. Donald Trump stopped it because there are American citizens that would have been affected. And he's all against these American citizens being affected. Unless you're a legal immigrant or somebody he doesn't like. Just jokes aside. So it backfired and they backed out. And guess what? All of the people in England started to realise this. Now, the media in England are not allowed to talk about it because guess what? Their government doesn't want to have egg on their faces. They already do. Sorry, I bumped my mic. I think the same is going to happen here. Now, it's happening next week. They're saying they're going to protect the kids. It's on the 10th of December. Nobody's been really told what's going to happen if you can't get your social media. You got to prove or facial ID or wherever, and where's that facial ID going? Who's it going to affect? Microsoft and online games and stuff like that. And what's going to happen if it doesn't work out? this is the thing, and they're basically banning young kids from social media, and they don't understand social media. I don't really understand social media that well, but the younger generation do. Now, don't get me wrong, people. I do think there are some things and people on the social media and things that need to be stopped, particularly if they're younger people. I really do. TikTok's not the best. I do use it here and there. Instagram's got some information. I understand all that. But shouldn't that be the parents doing that? And if the parents aren't able to get the kids off the phone, why should the rest of us have to suffer? And why is it all about protecting the kids when you're not really handling domestic violence, homelessness, and the cost of living and all sorts of other things, but you're going for social media? You know, like I think in Australia here, the illegal tobacco trade is outdoing cocaine, methamphetamines, and everything else under the sun. Right? Illegal tobacco. Right? It's through the roof because they're taxed too much tobacco. But they're not dealing with that. They're not dealing with domestic violence, which is the most damaging thing in Australian society today. But they're going to protect the kids. Now, we didn't vote for this too, by the way. We didn't vote for this. And a lot of Australians are going to be caught with their pants down. And they're going to think, oh, this is not going to affect us at all. And I told my personal trainer today, I said, yeah, you're going to have to prove that you're not 16 and you're trying to grow your brand as a personal trainer. Your private credentials and information is going to be uploaded and used and kept in the government data space. Now, you and I don't think that's a bad thing. That won't affect us. But if you're a political person that's on the fence or you're outspoken against Labor or Liberal in this country, they're going to get control over you. They're going to ban your channel. You're going to get arrested for saying something which is not, in their eyes, appropriate. You don't believe me? Look what's happening in England at the moment. More people are being arrested in England over comments and posts they shared on Facebook than people in Russia. Let that sink in. And just so we all should be concerned, is Victoria had the second biggest lockdown in the world when it came to COVID, past Beijing. That's a state run by Labor. Very corrupt, a lot of corruption there. This is the same government that got in. Now, I'm pretty sure, and don't get me wrong, Liberal would do the same thing. So I am sort of against this ban, and I think parents should basically get more and more involved and in touch with the kids, not get them on the phone so much. And this also comes down to the fact that both our parents have to work to keep a job and keep their head above the ground. So they're flat out working 12-hour days just to pay the bills because electricity and everything's gone for the roof here. And guess what? We're all going to suffer for it. So the kids are locked on the phone. And then now we're all going to have that taken away from us. So I'll leave you this one quote. It was from Mark Twain. I don't know much about him, but it's one of the best quotes. And he talked about censorship. And he said, censorship is stupid. It's like saying an adult can't have a steak because a kid can't chew it. It's exactly the same thing. And oh, by the way, the E-Karen that's behind all this and costing us millions to do it, she's been summoned to go ahead in front of Congress in the United States because of her role in censorship and basically trying to censor the American public. So let that sink in. I'm against it. Parents, control your kids on social media. And YouTube has a kids section, by the way. I bloody wish they would just do that instead of trying to make us all suffer. Frag and tag. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Catch you mofos later. I've got a big weekend. Won't be streaming on the weekend, but I'll catch you mofos soon. And look, Wobbit went off in that game. For an old noob, not too bad. Oh, 51. It's my age. How about that? Frag and tag, peeps. I'll catch you on the next video or next stream. Take care.